Most people live in constant emotional turbulence. We get angry when people offend us, anxious when the future is uncertain, frustrated when plans fall apart. We're always on edge, always reacting. But the Stoics believe that there is another way, a way of living where external events lose their power to disturb you, because your peace is anchored within. To the modern mind, that sounds like detachment or indifference, but it's not. The Stoic isn't cold. He's not disconnected from the world. He simply refuses to hand over control of his emotions to things outside himself. He knows that pain exists, that failure happens, that people are unkind. But he also knows that none of these things can touch his soul unless he lets them. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, taught a very simple idea that can change your life. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. That's it. That's the foundation of the Stoic worldview. You can't control the weather. You can't control what people say or do. You can't control whether you'll get that job, whether someone will love you, or whether you'll stay healthy your entire life. But what you can control, and what you must master, is how you respond. And that changes everything. If someone insults you, you don't have to be insulted. If plans fall through, you don't have to be angry. If the future looks uncertain, you don't have to be afraid. These reactions aren't automatic. They're learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome and devoted Stoic, wrote to himself in his private journal, the book we now know as Meditations, reminding himself over and over again, choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. In other words, nothing has the power to hurt you unless you give it permission. This isn't about denying emotion. It's about re-educating your mind to recognize what truly deserves your energy and what doesn't. Emotions will arise. That's natural. The Stoic doesn't suppress them. He observes them. He creates space between stimulus and response. In that space, he chooses wisely. Let's say you receive harsh criticism. Most people feel instantly defensive. But the Stoic pauses. He asks, is this true? If yes, I'll learn from it. If not, it doesn't concern me. Either way, there's no need to be upset. That's the power of training the mind to meet everything with calm inquiry instead of immediate reaction. This discipline starts with perception. You must constantly examine how you interpret events. The world doesn't disturb you. Your judgment about the world does. You miss a flight. Is it a disaster? Or just an opportunity to practice patience? You lose a client. Is it a failure? Or a reminder to detach from outcomes? You begin to see that very little in life is inherently good or bad. It's your judgment that gives events their weight. And when you change that judgment, the burden lifts. The Stoics had a practice called premeditatio malorum, imagining the worst-case scenario in advance. Not to scare themselves, but to prepare. To remind themselves that whatever happens, they can handle it. That if they lose their job, or someone betrays them, or they fall sick, they will still have their character, their reason, and their principles. Those are the real sources of peace. Not what happens, but who you are when it happens. Modern culture trains us to chase control, to try and manage every outcome, every detail, every person. The Stoic lets go of that illusion. He doesn't chase control of the external world. He sharpens control of the internal world. He works on his thoughts, his habits, his decisions. That's where his energy goes. That's where freedom lives. And that's the point, freedom. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want. But the Stoics knew that real freedom is the ability to not be ruled by impulse, anger, fear, or desire. It's the freedom to remain steady in chaos, kind in the face of cruelty, focused while others panic. That's true sovereignty, being the master of your own soul. So how do you get there? You start small. You watch your thoughts. You stop saying things like, this ruined my day, or he made me angry. No one can ruin your day. No one can make you angry. Those are choices, even if unconscious ones. You begin to bring that unconscious process into the light. You reflect daily. You write, like Marcus Aurelius did. You ask yourself, what disturbed me today and why? You train awareness like a muscle. Then, you practice detachment. You set goals, but you don't cling to results. You do your best and let go. You remind yourself, again and again, outcomes are not up to me. Effort is. That's your sacred responsibility. That's where peace lives. You also prepare yourself mentally. You remind yourself each morning. People may be rude today. Things may go wrong. Your plans may fall apart. And that's okay. You will respond with strength. You will keep your mind steady. You will not let external chaos shake your internal clarity. Over time, you'll notice a shift. The noise of the world grows quieter. You stop taking things personally. You stop expecting the world to be easy or fair. You meet life on its terms and still choose to live with virtue, courage, and calm. And people will notice. They'll ask, how do you stay so calm? And the answer will be simple. Because you stopped letting everything matter. You stopped handing over your peace to things you can't control. The Stoic path isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day to train your mind, to sharpen your perception, to live intentionally. Not just when things are easy, but especially when they're hard. Because that's when it matters most. Nothing truly bothers a Stoic. Not because he's disconnected, but because he's deeply connected to what really matters. His values, his actions, his response. You can live like that too. It takes practice. It takes honesty. It takes courage. But the reward is priceless. A mind that cannot be shaken. A soul that cannot be owned. A life that belongs entirely to you. And that, in the end, is what we're all searching for.